I don't even want to look at the camera. Because everybody talks about shadow work. I myself even find myself have been blinded by the shadow work of self. And how deep is your shadow work if you can share and teach your experiences online without receiving backlash, without being so vulnerable to the point that you're borderline shedding tears. Shout out to those that whose videos get buried. I got Progress Moon in Fomalhaut. So I don't even like condemning. But when I condemn myself and chastising myself, I'm condemning the collective because of what I am conscious of and what we're subconsciously programmed to ignore. How are you subconsciously programmed to ignore something? Being callous, yes. Seeing it all the time, being callous, yes. Being callous on the conscious level, but that shows how sensitive you are on the subconscious level. So that shows how in touch you are with your subconscious, with your inner child, because we're only seeing about celebrities that we've been known and been doing this shit to get their fame and snitching on each other. Been known as a dog eat dog world. Now it's an issue because they're celebrities, because they're in the spotlight, because they're the puppets, because they're supposed to go down, because everything that's being revealed. See, the shadow government and some of the powers that be in the fourth dimensional, like smaller demigods, they pick and choose. Like Cat Williams said, they pick and choose who is getting exposed. What about the babies that are being sex trafficked? What about their parents? What about those women? Y'all remember the ICE situation? Oh, crown camera. Y'all remember the ICE situation? Y'all think that shit just disappeared? What about Pakistan, Israel? Y'all think that shit just disappeared? Like, we see it every day. Just because it's on the major news, major platforms, they're transmuting y'all's energies. They're shitting on us. And we're allowing it. Because big news is talking about it, that automatically waters down pages like, at least for TikTok and Facebook. But TikTok is where it is all out there. And I feel like some of the people on TikTok don't get the recognition they deserve because of the stigma. It's just a clusterfuck. But that's what the subconscious and the collective is, a clusterfuck. And it's up to you to have discernment. It's on you to have discernment. It's on you to have discernment with who you're collaborating with. It's on you to have discernment with the lives that you are posting and that you are going on and that you are joining and that you are structuring and guiding your footprints, because they are watching. And China is watching too. And China has educational TikTok. I don't know where that came up, but that was just on my mind. Like, what about those children that are being trafficked? And worry about what a man is doing with another man and domestic relationship abuse because it's in the spotlight. It's still high key important because they still got way more pull and way more stuff that can be covered up. But like I said again, they pick and choose. We pick and choose. Be fucking aware, because the people that helped them cover this up, because of the CIA name dropping, the CIA that's assistant in these cover-ups, lawyers, attorneys. That's why you can't really trust people with fucking degrees and search and shit like that because their name is on the paper, because there's some highlighted and some zeros and ones and numbers and codes and shit next to the name to a degree. They can do no fucking wrong. But it's the people that put in the man hours that may not have a cert or a degree that did their research online and applied it to the actual like communities, like actual small fundraisers, small soup kitchens, small things like that, that mom and pop shops that aren't getting pushed, that are trying to be buried. And even though they're buried, they're still shining, because the more that they're buried, the more that people like the CIA and shadow government, it's not in their fucking business, because they're not affecting their pockets, they're not affecting their wallets, they're not affecting, shit like this. But the Diddy shit is still affecting shadow government's pockets. There's levels to the shadow government. It's levels to the Illuminati. It's levels to the enlightened ones. It's levels. It's like the Catholic Church. It's different umbrellas and shit like that, all intertwined in the tangled, matted, rooted fucking mess. It's just a mess. And pick and choose, because somebody's pockets is getting fed out of this. Lawyers' pockets is getting fed. A change of power, may not positive or negative, it's a change of power in the smoothest way, because just because you've read one place of one crime, that crime is going to go someone else. Or just because, like Batman, when he took all the criminals off the street, that power is going to fall into the hands of those below them. And even the ones below them, it was disorganized, organized crime or disorganized crime. It's basically putting it in our face, which one do you prefer, basically. I welled up with tears because I'm not criticizing, checking what content you guys are putting out. I'm talking about the emphasis. A shadow work journal? Really? You look at the world, and that's enough shadow work for you to, it should be enough for you to want to build on yourself. Be vulnerable with your traumas. Go look within yourself. Because R. Kelly is another example of what was done to him. Imagine what was done to him. And now he's doing that shit. That's when you don't go get the help, when you don't go do the therapy, when you don't have take yourself accountable, when you surround yourself with fucking yes men. Like, all the shit that is coming with the success, you're not gaining success. It feels like you're gaining collateral. You're gaining liabilities. You're gaining people that have leverage over you. And when you have liabilities, you do sneaky shit to make compromises. And this is the love and the compromising and the relation of Venus and Aries native in the 8th house type. This is really not compromising that in the relationships and relating. It's just a rant, though. Shit. It's like a sinking ship who's jumping off the boat into the water and who's staying on the ship. And the people that try to jump in the water is the symbol of the people trying to jump back into the collective. They'll take their chances and they'll drown, being suffocated with our emotions, our thoughts and feelings, and all the people's projections. And the people that want to go down with the ship, lying and shit, they can burn alive, because that's what it's going to be. See, the thoughts and feelings and emotions of the collective. Oh, why you get the help, like the R. Kelly shit. So people that are still like, he makes great music. That's just our emotions. We don't mess with that. But on the intellectual level, separate from emotions, separate from, oh, we still fuck with the music, with the vibration, frequency wise, judging the fuck out of that nigga, judging the fuck out of his people. You can ignore your thoughts. You can't ignore your feelings. So people rather go with the feelings. You can't ignore that his songs is catchy. You can't ignore the sympathy. Maybe he should got help. You can't ignore the emotion of throwing stones at the people beside him. But if you stay on that fucking ship, you got gas, oil leaks, all kinds of toxic chemicals floating around you, and I feel like that's the death that you deserve, because that's the environment that you're in. Why jump in the water and try to act like you're escaping from something and throw yourself up to be crucified so that maybe you'll receive some form of redemption? You going down with that motherfucking ship and the chemicals therein. You're going to burn the fuck up in the heat of people's expressions, their ideas of you, the pictures, the image, the movies that you left behind. You can't just bury yourself in the emotions of the collective and people be distracted from what you actually did with just their collectives, arguments and debates with each other. Like fire against fire creates more fire on that ship. So one person's vision collides with another person's vision, and then instead of fucking just fighting for power, the fire is the ebb and the flow and the image and the fluid. It gives the air, the communication, color. And it blocks the air from, you can't see no blue skies. Your spirit can't ascend. It's lost in the fucking darkness and shit. Going down with the fucking ship. I had another point. Oh yeah. And when that ship goes completely under and all that oil leaks into that water, no one's gonna be able to touch it with their emotions. It's gonna be an oil spill, and somebody's gonna have to clean it up, and it takes 4 fucking ever to clean it up, and that's gonna be the shadow government taking 4 fucking ever to have to clean it up, with us just shaking our heads. Y'all get y'all's hands dirty. People that are moving the women, and I've been doing that. Y'all bring y'all's families out there to clean up that shit. Put y'all families in there, questioning y'all's home and household. Oh wait, they're probably with the nanny. Children are probably with the nanny. Fucking pathetic. Fucking sick. Fucking sick. Conscious community. Being conscious of that. How about you do that? Subconscious shadow work. The shadow has a collective too. Not just a shadow, the dark side of your ego, the sun. What's the dark side of the sun, huh? You don't see it. Fucking exactly. That's the importance of making your shadow tied to the ego. The sun, the ego is so egotistical. It doesn't have a shadow because there's nothing that it can bounce off onto. But we are bouncing off on this freaking world. So you're doing the collective shadow work for that world. God damn it. And that's Moss.